take the first step and then the others become clearer as you go on. It's the conversation on TOSTV Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. My name is Adesuwasi. We're going to be having an interesting conversation later on the show. I'm sure you're going to, be interested in that one. But before then, allow me bring you COVID updates from across Africa. And after that, it's straight into the big story. You're still here in the conversation on TOS Television Network. But before we continue with the show, I just need you to follow TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. It's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's TOS TV Network. And of course, stream our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, for news, stories, and happenings from across the world. Now, moving straight into the crux of the matter today. So, a conversation has been on since, I think, for days now about Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo's supposed intervention on the activities of IPOB in the southeast, especially Anambra State. He's been working behind the scene to end the sit-at-home order, which he said he has already ended, and of course granted amnesty to IPOB. And we're going to be just looking at matters arising from all of that. Nnamdi Kanu being in prison and IPOB's activities in the southeast Nigeria. And to join me in having that conversation in the studio is Kelvin Ayebaifie Emmanuel. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's good to have you. Now, let's start with Charles Soludo's agitation. I don't know if they call it an agitation, but I do know it was yesterday during an interview. He did mention that he doesn't know what Nnamdi Kanu is still being held for. He doesn't know the charges that he's been held for. So he's telling the federal government to let him have his day in court. And if he's found guilty for whatever charges, then send him to jail. If not, let him go. Just what everybody in the South, or everybody at IPOB has been saying, that let him go if you have nothing against him. What do you think about that? Because even though the federal government has said he's been held on terrorism charges and all of that, but I think they're not buying that. So what do you think about it?
Well, thank you very much. It's important for us to understand that on the 18th of September 2017, the federal government proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. And it's also important for us to understand that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested in 2015.
Yeah.
He was actually on trial. He jumped bail because, according to him, the military and the Air Force invaded his house in Abia State, escaped from the country, went abroad, continued his agitation through his radio network. And in 2017, after IPOB had joined the Ambazonia network, the federal government proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization, which means that they are persona non grata.
Yeah.
It means if they continue with the agitation and continue with claiming responsibility for deaths and disturbance of the peace of the state, and claim the territory, because the basic job of the army is to ensure the territorial integrity of the country.
Yeah.
It means that they are now a terrorist organization. So for him to claim that he's the supreme leader of an organization that has been proscribed as a terrorist organization, and in fact, IPOB is the first, because you have the movement for the MASOB.
Yes.
From 1999.
Yes, a long time ago.
Ralph was a and there was fight in the leadership of MASOB, and then the IPOB came up.
Yeah.
during the heat of the Niger Delta agitations by MEND and the other groups in the Niger Delta. So the bone of contention here is that currently Nnamdi Kanu, of course, is on trial at the Federal High Court. Yeah. Even if quite a number of legal experts and luminaries have deferred with the federal government and with the Attorney General on the mode through which Nnamdi Kanu was rearrested in Kenya. And in fact, the Kenyan government has come to say that they don't have any record of giving up Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian government.
Yeah.
Even if experts have come to defer with the government on that, the crux remains that there are events that has taken place over the last couple of years that is a cause of concern and makes the allegations against him very, very serious.
Okay. Okay, but what do you think about the activities of IPOB in the Southeast, all in a bid to see or to secure the release of their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who's been held here in the capital city? The sit-at-home order that has rocked the Southeast, crippled businesses, seen people, dead bodies on the street and all of that. I do know that the governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, has said, look, the sit-at-home order has ended yesterday, being 4th of April, and we're granting IPOB amnesty, drop your guns and come join us. Whoever wants to can come join us. And I know that IPOB has said, we're not a terrorist organization. So I do know, going by that, you offering them amnesty does say that you agree with the federal government, or he agrees with the federal government, that they're actually a dangerous organization and should be curbed and all of that. What do you think about all of that?
Well, to be honest, I think it's a tall order for the new governor of Anambra. And the way IPOB has gone about wanton killings, destruction of police stations, killings of policemen, killings of immigration officials, prison officials, burning of police stations, even makes the case against their supreme leader in court very, very complicated. You see, the agitation of IPOB, talking about the sharing of revenue, the level of infrastructure delimitation in the Southeast, comes all the way from 1967 to 1970. In fact, it goes all the way back to January 15, 1966. And then June, July 1966. We have to understand that there is a lot of historical antecedents. But the young people who are very naive, believing that the way and manner to get what they feel is theirs as citizens of Nigeria, and as a sub-region, one of the 6 geopolitical zones in the country, is a proof that they don't understand history. They don't understand history in the sense that they don't realize that the way to get concessions and to get what they believe is rightfully theirs is not by force, it's by negotiation. This idea that IPOB has, that it can shoot and kill and destroy its way into the government conceding to it, is an idea that is only going to cost more. It's like you cutting your nose to spite your face.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Because, like, for example, Imo State used to be like the entertainment capital of Nigeria. Like, you have, people go to Imo and you have all the hotels booked.
Yes.
That has dropped. Igbo people naturally love coming back home for holidays. That has dropped by 50%. So you can imagine all the loss of revenues from tourism, from coming back home at the end of the year. You can imagine Nigerians in the diaspora, through the Nigerians in the diaspora organization, afraid to invest in Ebonyi, in Enugu, in Imo, in Abia, in Anambra, because they're like, what if I put in 200 million or 500 million and these boys come and destroy it? Who will pay for it? Nobody. a lot of them are even moving away from the Southeast. So it's a very bad situation, and I think it's ill-advised. I will say this categorically because the time has come in Nigeria where we have to call a spade and say the truth. The older people have given a tacit approval to it because the traditional rulers and the elders have not sat them down, the leaders of these groups, and say, look, we understand your concerns. We've been here before, but this way is not going to give you the results that you desire. And you people are hurting us. You're hurting what we built so far in a bid to get what you believe you're entitled to, which is not the way to go. So it's a tall order for Charles Soludo because he has to realize that beyond them agreeing to allow people to go out on Mondays every week, there is so much fear that has been instilled in the people. And the people are like, are they really serious about allowing us to go out on Mondays? Or is it a joke?
Yeah.
Because people have been shot dead in broad daylight for defying that order. So it's something that is going to is going to go beyond just an announcement or an MOU being signed. It's going to go to him really inspiring and speaking to the people, going around the state, going around the Southeast, to let the people understand that he's here, he's willing to work, and is willing to bring them back from the brink because they are at the brink.
Okay. We're actually wrapping up in a bit, but in just 1 minute. So you think that letting Nnamdi Kanu go at this point will put an end to all of this?
I think the issues are deeper than letting Nnamdi Kanu go. The Southeast has 5 states and is landlocked. One of the agitations is being the formula for revenue allocation to the Southeast. The Southeast has 22.6 million people. And if you look at the revenue allocation formula on equity of states, on land mass, on population, on derivation, I would say the Southeast has always gotten the short end of the stick. And the way for you to address this are serious constitutional changes by, number one, either reducing the share of the federal government allocation from the federal purse or changing the structure and bringing back power to the states. The states should control their resources and pay royalty to the center. The Southeast has lithium, it has bauxite, it has coal, it has gold. If you give the states the power to mine and remove mining from the exclusive legislative list and give the powers back to the state governors will compete for investors to come in and partner with them to create wealth for their people and pay royalties back to the center. And that way, the Southeast will get what is always agitated for, which is that the share of the revenue that comes from the federal government to the states are small compared to what others are getting.
Okay. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So I have to actually, end the conversation here. But I do hope that we can continue this conversation some other time, that I can bring you back so we can talk about this. Thank you for joining me and sharing your thoughts on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for staying with me on the conversation up until this time. Do not forget, I'll be back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. But before then, follow us across all social media platforms. That's TOSTV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to TOSTV Network on YouTube. And stream our website, www.tostvnetwork.com, for news, stories, and happenings from across the world. My name is Adesu Elsie. Thank you and join me again tomorrow.